FIFA in chaos. Infantino versus UEFA. Is his FIFA presidency collapsing? Infantino close-up. UEFA President Alexander Seferin. FIFA logo. UEFA logo. World Cup trophy. Fast interview clips. Something is happening at the very top of world football. And this time, it has nothing to do with what's happening on the pitch. It's about power. FIFA President Gianni Infantino is facing growing pressure from European football. UEFA has kept its threat of boycotting FIFA competitions alive. The English FA has withdrawn its support for Infantino's re-election. And Norway has gone even further, calling for him to resign. But here's the twist. Infantino has not been removed. And he is not fighting this battle alone. Some powerful football nations and confederations are still standing behind him. So what exactly is happening? And could this become one of the biggest power struggles football has ever seen? Cut to title. FIFA in chaos. FIFA headquarters. Infantino. FIFA documents / headlines. World Cup footage. The current crisis began with a controversial FIFA proposal involving the commercial future of the World Cup. FIFA had been exploring the creation of an investment vehicle known as FIFA Forward Enterprise. The idea involved bringing private investment into commercial rights connected to FIFA competitions. But UEFA immediately raised serious concerns. European officials believed that decisions of this scale required much greater consultation. And what started as a disagreement over a commercial proposal quickly turned into something much bigger. It became a question of trust. Trust between FIFA and UEFA. And suddenly, Europe's most powerful football organizations were preparing for a confrontation with FIFA. Seferin. UEFA headquarters. European flags. England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy players. Then came the threat that shocked the football world. UEFA and its 55 member associations said a boycott of FIFA competitions could still happen if their concerns were not resolved. Think about that for a moment. Europe contains some of the biggest football nations in the world. England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and many more. If European football actually walked away from a FIFA competition, the consequences would be enormous. Broadcasters would be affected. Sponsors would be affected. Players would be affected. And millions of fans would be watching a completely different tournament. But there is one important point. A boycott has not been confirmed. It remains a threat. And that distinction is crucial. Infantino press conference. Infantino serious face. FIFA statement headlines. Under growing pressure, FIFA eventually abandoned the controversial proposal. Infantino also acknowledged the concerns surrounding the plan. At first, it looked like the crisis might finally be coming to an end. But UEFA wasn't convinced. The proposal was gone. But the trust problem remained. UEFA's position was essentially that simply canceling the plan was not enough. And that changed the entire situation. Because now the conflict wasn't just about one investment proposal. It was about FIFA leadership. It was about governance. And most importantly, it was about whether UEFA still trusted Gianni Infantino. Wembley, England team FA logo. Infantino English FA statement. Then came another major blow. The English Football Association withdrew its support for Infantino's re-election. That is significant. England is one of the most influential football associations in the world. And the English FA made clear that it supported UEFA's position and wanted a serious review of FIFA's leadership and governance. But let's make something very clear. England has not left FIFA. England has not confirmed a World Cup boycott. This is about political support for Infantino's future leadership. And politically, that is a major warning sign. Because when powerful associations begin changing their positions, the balance of power can change very quickly. Norway FA Lees Klaveness Infantino interview clip. Then Norway took the confrontation to another level. Norway's Football Association called for Gianni Infantino to resign. This was much stronger than simply withdrawing election support. It was a direct challenge to his leadership. Norway argued that trust in Infantino's leadership had broken down. And that raised a much bigger question. If more football associations follow Norway, could the pressure eventually become too strong for Infantino to ignore? For now, however, he remains FIFA president. There has been no confirmed removal. But the pressure is clearly growing. CAF officials, African teams, Argentina, Mexico, Infantino, with football leaders. But here's where this story becomes complicated. Because not everyone is against Infantino. In fact, he still has some powerful supporters. The Confederation of African Football has backed him. Argentina has backed him. Mexico has also been among those supporting him. And this changes the entire picture. This isn't simply Europe versus Infantino. It is a much bigger political battle. FIFA has 211 member associations. And that means Infantino's future will ultimately depend on international alliances and votes. Europe can create enormous pressure. But support from other regions can give Infantino significant political strength. So despite everything happening, Infantino is far from powerless. Split screen, Infantino versus Ceferin, FIFA versus UEFA logos, football fans. So what is this conflict really about? Is it only about Gianni Infantino? Probably not. The bigger question is, who gets to decide the future of global football? FIFA controls international football. UEFA controls European football. Both organizations have enormous financial and political influence. And the World Cup is the biggest prize of them all. The recent controversy exposed a deeper disagreement about governance. How should major decisions be made? How much power should FIFA have? How much consultation should UEFA receive? And who should control the commercial future of the world's biggest football tournament? These questions are now at the center of the fight. World Cup trophy, European national teams, fans, stadium, dramatic, empty stadium shot. Now comes the question every football fan is asking. Could Europe actually boycott a FIFA competition? The threat remains. But again, a threat is not the same as a confirmed boycott. There is still room for negotiations. And there is a huge reason why both sides may want to avoid an actual confrontation. Because a major FIFA tournament without Europe's biggest teams would create chaos. Fans would be furious. Broadcasters would face enormous problems. Sponsors would be affected. And FIFA itself would face one of the biggest crises in its history. That is why the next stage of negotiations could be extremely important. Infantino serious close-up headlines, England, FA, Norway, CAF, Argentina, Mexico. So, is Gianni Infantino finished? Not yet. He remains FIFA president, and he still has significant international support. But his political position is clearly under pressure. UEFA remains deeply unhappy. England has withdrawn its support. Norway is calling for his resignation. And the controversial FIFA proposal has already been abandoned. At the same time, important football organizations continue to support him. So the future is far from decided. Infantino has survived the first major storm. But the question is, can he survive the political battle that comes next? Fast montage, Infantino, Ceferin, World Cup trophy, players, fans, FIFA logo. One thing is certain. The biggest battle in football right now isn't happening on the pitch. It's happening at the highest level of the sport. UEFA wants change. Some football associations want Infantino gone. Others still believe he is the right man to lead FIFA. And somewhere in the middle is the future of international football. Will FIFA and UEFA find a compromise? Will more countries turn against Infantino? Could the boycott threat become reality? Or will Infantino emerge from this crisis stronger than before? We don't know yet. But one thing is clear. This football power struggle is far from over. And the next move could change world football forever. Subscribe for more global football news.